Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, October 1st, first day of the fourth quarter, and you're looking at the last 3 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And I think what's more important to even go over what's going on is to go over, who tries to educate you, inform you, and whatnot. So, and everything I say is on record on my videos and in my trading room. So, it's not as simple as I'm about to say it, but it's certainly not as complicated as a lot of people make you believe, right? So just to look at what transpired yesterday. And I was long up here, right? We were about to fill the gap. We didn't fill ours like the ES did because of the dividend. And then the headline came out about the stimulus bill having trouble. And look what happened, right? All the longs up here, right? IJ, flush out. They continue to flush in K. And then what happens? This is the part you really have to understand. Those week longs are gone by then. KLM is nothing but short-term traders and algorithms shorting this market after that headline. Plain and simple. We had an open and drive up, right? Barely got below it. I said last night in the room, if these guys don't get what they're looking for tomorrow morning, right, because the day was ended, and we open anywhere near KLM's high, they're going to give it up. That's number one. Number two, I also said in last night's video, our destinations are far and wide apart. My first destination on the upside, before the overnight high, which is even higher than where we are right now, was yesterday's high. Look where we're trading. These algos are set to very, very visual reference points. We had only 7 wide or 8 wide. I like 9. We didn't have single prints. We didn't have an afternoon rally high. We didn't get a price probe. So it's the big first destination here. Now, is it as simple as that? Of course not. But don't make it more complicated than what it is. And this is what I teach in the room every day. My goal is to have one of the largest trading rooms out there. Not for the fact to have one of the largest, but the fact to try to educate as many traders as I can and absolutely blow away the industry average as far as success rate goes. I'm offering all this for $20. Look, I'll be 60 years old on Saturday. I plan on doing this for 5 more years. Nobody has more of a passion or is going to give more effort into this than I do. Maybe the same. I always said that. I'll never say I'm better than anybody else, but nobody's going to give as much effort as I do. I am offering this for $20 a month right now to try to educate traders and to teach them how to hunt and fish. So, there's a lot of people that watch these videos. There's a lot of people out there on Twitter that follow me. But I'm very proud that I have almost 200 people in the room. But there's certainly room for a lot more. And I think a lot of people who could be better off served learning the right way. Okay. So what is going on today? Exactly what I said. We are right back. We are literally right back to where I was long before that headline came out or tweet. That's all it is. We came out of a 2-day bounce to the upside. Basically, that's what we're looking at. Monthly's in balance, weekly's in balance. I said the daily was up. So the big battle was the 50-day moving average. We closed below it 3 days in a row. Well, right now we're above it. We'll see what happens. So destinations. We're just over an hour to go prior to the opening. We're using yesterday's high of 338.29 and then filling the SPY's gap at 338.52. It's only 23 points from the 17th. Then we have 339.26 price probe from the 16th. 340.31 price spike from the 16th. 341.12, which was 10 wide. And then the next big destination is 343.06, which is the weekly high. Okay, and if we go all the way quickly to the 16th, here we are. Right? Here's the 16th. Those numbers I gave you, they mean something. Right? We went out with a price probe. So when you make a new low in the last half hour, well, L's low is where the base of the price probe is. Are there going to be sellers there again? Right? Here we are 2 weeks later. If there aren't sellers there, well, guess what? Remember the way I talk about M period? Right? Even though this is 2 weeks ago. If we get into M's range from the 16th and get above the price probe, well, then the odds are you're going to travel the whole thing and at least test the price spike, right? That's where change took place, right? That's where change took place. We made a new high in K, L ripped down, took out the low of the day, spiked down, and M probe down. Two very important visual areas. And guess what? If you're able to take those over, eventually you're going to get to that 10 wide POC, and then eventually you're going to at least test that weekly high. But these might be formidable opponents right here. So these are going to be two very key levels, right? They're not just numbers. They're two very key levels that buyers are going to have to overtake. So that remains to be seen. And by the way I'm showing you all this right now, you see this live streaming all day as I'm giving a play-by-play on what's developing. For the downside, if we gap higher, then we use yesterday's high. If we don't gap higher, until we get more market-generated information, right now my first downside destination is my overnight low. Ready for this? 333.38. $5 lower than what we're trading. Then we have yesterday's low of 332.88. And then we have the other two daily lows, which you should have in a weekly and daily gap. So expect, I said this last night, in the room, in the video, because we're dealing with short-term traders, these are heat-seeking missiles. And that's what they're going to look for. So if you get acceptance above here, you should start going and at least testing that price probe and possibly the price spike. If you do not get accepted above yesterday's high, well, until you get more market-generated information, there's not much here to lean on, right? The thing they're going to lean on is M's high and the POC. And we know what happens if you get accepted into M's range. So, all early things to look for. Is there a game plan for this morning? Sure. If we take out yesterday's high and get accepted above it, I'll look for a long. I'm out if we come back into the day's range, yesterday's range, right? If we come back into it, there's nothing really to lean on. On the flip side, if we can't take out yesterday's high, you can take a short against it, at least initially. You know you're out. Right? That's a pretty damn good risk-reward trade. If you take a short right here, you know you're out above yesterday's high. If it doesn't take it out, like I just said, there's nothing to lean on until your 7-8 wide POC and M's high, until we get more market-generated information. So those are two very early plays. And then chart-wise, do this quickly. New month, we're in balance, right? Firmly in balance. So it's going to take a while to decide, right? Can't come out of balance till you take out either the high or low. Well, we're $20 from the high of the balance. We're $20 from the low of the balance. We're right smack in the middle of the balance. So in the longer term, that's a market waiting for more market-generated information. Weekly, same thing. We're in balance. Two very big focal points for the weekly. Plain and simple. For the bulls, they want to get to 343.06. For the bears, they want to take out this week's low for now and fill the gap. Plain and simple. And on the daily, you could have either called it a 3-day balance or up. The main thing, whatever you wanted to call it, is the 50 right now. We get acceptance above the 50, then the odds are you can go test that weekly high I just talked about. If we fail again at the 50 today, well, then you're going to probably come down at some point, fill these gaps, and get accepted into this 5-day balance. Good luck trading today. Have a great day. And we'll recap at 4 p.m.